It's Christie. Today is Saturday, March 19th. I have been out today. I went to see a soccer game. My nephew Kai had a soccer game. They won. Yay for Kai. And then I hung out with Mom for a bit. And now I am about to make magical cookies. So I thought I would sit and chat with you while I make my cookies. How's that sound? I hope that sounds good because that's what we're doing. So, all right. Last time I cooked while I was vlogging, I didn't put in enough water. And that was when I was making that chocolate cake. And it turned out slightly dry. Still delicious, though, I have to say. However, magical cookies are a recipe that I've been making for a long time now. So I'm pretty sure I'll be fine. Although I did forget a spoon. So give me a second. Spoon. I had brought all of my stuff, but I didn't have a spoon to mix stuff with. Which, you know, that would come in handy. So I have already preheated the oven, or I should say I'm preheating the oven right now. It is preheating at 325. We are going to start mixing our stuff together. I also need to figure out where I put my ice cream scoop because I find that when you're putting cookies on a cookie sheet, using an ice cream scoop is a really good way to do it, to make sure your cookies are kind of all the same size. And it's a good size, the little ice cream scoop. So I just have to figure out where I put it, but I'll figure that out later. We can we can work on the mix in the meantime. So, all right. So the first thing we're gonna do, there's actually a wet mix and a dry mix. So we have, the recipe calls for 1 cup of unsalted butter. Now, softened. I actually use a half a cup. Originally, this was a mistake. When I the first time I made this recipe, my friends Maggie and Kathy from Maryland had done these cookies, and they were so delicious, and I got the recipe from them. And the recipe said 1 cup of softened butter, and for some reason, I thought that 1 stick was 1 cup the first time I was making it. It's not. It's actually half a cup. Here's the thing. I don't know. I somehow like the cookies better with the half a cup. So 1 stick of butter instead of 2 softened. And then a lot of sugar. We're going to use 1 full cup, where's my other brown sugar, of packed brown sugar. Sorry, I have 2, so I have this brown sugar, but I also have another little packet. There it is, that I want to use up. This was actually from Dinnerly. Dinnerly recipe that I had the other leftover brown sugar. So I'm going to go ahead and use that up right quick. We're just going to put that in our little measuring cup here. And then I'm going to get the rest of my packaged light brown sugar here. And we do want it packed, so I'm going to, get it into the cup here and, press it down. Make sure we get plenty of that sugar in there. Woo! Yeah, that's good stuff right there. Nice and crumbly. Getting a little extra in the bowl, but whatever, who cares? Just means maybe the cookies will be a little bit more sugary, but I have no problem with that personally. So let's get a little bit more. That's not quite there. So that feels a little, yeah. I think that feels like once it's packed. Yep, that about does it. So about 1 cup. There you go of the packed light brown sugar. Yum yum yum. All right, close this back up. Put that aside. Okay, and then we need a half a cup of white sugar. My stuff is over here. Okay, there we go. White sugar. Once again, I have a little left over from Dinnerly, so we use that little container first. There we go. All right, that's used up. And we'll fill the rest of the half a cup. My sugar here. I know I said I would talk to you while I'm doing this. I don't actually have anything to say really this week. It's been a pretty normal week for me, once again. Nothing really special to talk about. Work was fine. Yum, yum, yum. And I did a Friday off of work, which was really nice. That was a just because day. This past week was daylight savings for those of us in the states in the U.S. that actually do that, because not all of them do, which is crazy to me, but whatever. So we lost an hour. And originally, I had actually taken Monday off. If you're hearing background noise, by the way, it's because my dishwasher is running, so sorry about that. But anyway, yeah, I had originally taken Monday off because I was like, well, that's perfect, right? Like, I don't have to go get up early, you know, the day after daylight savings. I can take that day off. But I had way too many meetings. I find that nowadays, with work, my meeting schedule has gotten a little bit insane. And Monday, I just had way too many meetings to justify taking the day off. So I said, all right, forget it. And I just moved my day off to Friday. So it became a just because day off. And I greatly enjoyed it. I just kind of hung out. I played a lot of Sims. I did my cooking, my weekly cooking. I actually did on Friday during the day. So that's nice. That kind of got that out of the way. Yeah, I think, is that all I did? Oh, I ran 2 errands. I actually, these are new glasses. I got updated glasses, and they look very much like my old glasses. I wouldn't expect you to have noticed that. And I got new sunglasses, so I picked those up from the eye doctor on Friday. Very exciting. I love my new sunglasses. Again, they look pretty similar to my old sunglasses, but they're very cute. I look very good in them. And I'm just happy because, actually, I had not gotten new sunglasses last year, and that was probably a mistake. My eyesight changed, like, not a ton, like in 1 year, but by the time 2 years went by, it was like, oh, you know, and so so when I was wearing them while driving, it was perfectly safe to drive. Like, do not worry. I could see well enough to drive. Like, I'm not going to hit anybody or anything like that. However, I could not read street signs. So, obviously, I needed updated sunglasses so I could actually read street signs. So I was like, well, if I'm wearing my sunglasses, I can only drive when I know where I am because I can't read the signs. So, but now I have new sunglasses and I can actually read the signs, and it's awesome. I've kind of forgotten what that was like. So, yeah, so I did that. And then I went out again, got my taxes done on Friday. So that was done. I always get them done at H&R Block. I may have mentioned this last week. I forget. I never remember what I talk about. But, yeah, I let H&R Block do it. I get very confused and intimidated by complex, forms and legal language and stuff. So I just let them do it. I had uploaded some forms and stuff ahead of time. So when I went there, I just had to give her a couple more forms. She finished it up. Taxes are done, have been accepted by federal and state. I'm good to go. Getting a refund. So that was good. And then, yeah, I played a lot of Sims, like I said. So that was cool. I was annoyed because my, yeah, I don't need the 1/3 cup. Okay, my 2 eggs is the next thing we're going to do. My Sims game, I ended up having to start over the game that I was playing because it just decided not to save. I think my save file got corrupted, and I was like, no. So, and I had made some pretty good progress, too. So The Sims has something now they're calling scenarios, which is where they give you, it's sort of like a challenge, but it's like built into the game. And so they have a challenge now that I had started that sounded really fun called the Super Rich Supervillain. So the idea is that your sim becomes a secret agent in the villain branch of the secret agent career, which is hilarious. And they have to try to make a bunch of money while being a supervillain. And I just need a napkin. I'll be right back. Right there. And I spilled a little bit of egg white on my, what do you call it? Placemat. So I'm going to have to wash that later. But anyway, your sim just has to make a lot of money while being a supervillain. And I have mentioned before in the past that I do have a Sims character that I like to play with regularly who is of, let's say, questionable moral fiber. And I was like, he would be perfect for the supervillain challenge. So I had started a game with him in the secret agent career, trying to work my way up to you have to get to a certain level of the career before you can choose to be a villain. And I was working him up on the career, getting all his skills up, things were going well. And then my save file got corrupted, and I had to delete the game and start over. Not the game, not delete the Sims. I had to delete that save file. That was annoying. So a lot of what I was doing yesterday was starting a new game with my supervillain. Starting over from the beginning again to get him all of his skills and get him up in the career. Which is fine. I mean, it's fun. It's just frustrating because I literally had already, played all of that. But, whatever. It's okay. Alright, so now we have our, getting our wet batter together. I normally, when I make magical cookies, I actually do it with a stand mixer. But I decided, since I was going to be talking to you, that that's probably not a good idea. Have a mixer running while I'm trying to talk. So that's why I'm doing this by hand, which means my batter won't be quite as smooth. It'll be a little lumpier than in the past several times that I've made it. But that's okay. I actually used to make magical cookies like this by hand all the time. And it was actually, I'm going to say within the past year, within the past few months even, that I started doing it with the stand mixer. So, but this is it's getting pretty smooth now. You can see even the difference from the last time I showed you. Yeah, so, very nice. All right, I think the next wet ingredient is just going to be my vanilla extract, if I remember correctly. Yep. So I need 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. I'm going to have to get a second teaspoon because I only brought 1, but I need 1 for dry ingredients also. So, but anyway, you'll notice I'm not using like an actual measuring teaspoon. I would if it was like cooking where you have to be more exact. I actually had exactly 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract left. How about that? No, it's the other way around, isn't it? With baking, you're supposed to be more precise, and with cooking, you can be... Whatever. The point is, I have made these so many times, and it does not matter that I didn't measure it with an actual measuring spoon. I would say maybe if you're making this for the first time, you might want to use an actual measuring spoon, but from experience, I can tell you that it's fine. All right, I gotta wash my hands again. This leaked a little bit. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. All right, here we go. So now, I'm now mixing the vanilla extract in to my wet mix, and then that will be all ready to go, and we can start on the dry part of the mix. So anyway, yeah, that was Sims. I'm going back into my Sims game later today, definitely, to continue on my whole supervillain thing. So, right. Sorry, I was just getting myself together. Okay, I just realized that actually I'm missing another measuring spoon. Hold on. Right, I forgot. See, I use these measuring spoons, but I need these measuring spoons because I actually need a 1/4 cup, and this only comes in 1 cup, 1/2 cup, and a 1/3 cup, which Anyway, so where's my 1/4 cup? 1/4 cup. There. All right, so wet mix is done, so now we're going to start on our dry part. So for the dry part, I am going to want 1 1/4 cups of flour. So now, once again, I have a little bit of flour left over from when Dinnerly sent me a baked good recipe, which was actually that chocolate cake. So we're going to put that last of that in there, and then I will grab my flour for the rest of the full cup here, and I always kind of just do that, just like reach in the bag. So, level it out there. There you go, 1 cup. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to put it through a strainer here so that it's nice and easy to mix. So just sort of leave that like that. And then I need a 1/4 cup, which I just had grabbed here. So 1/4 cup of flour here for a full 1 1/4 cup. There we go. Put that in there. All right. All right. Kind of let that get all through the strainer there. Then, let's see what else. I need, right, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of salt. No problem. So, this is my other teaspoon that I picked up. for that. All right, a half a teaspoon of the baking soda. So once again, I'm actually eyeballing it, which is not good. Again, just don't do this. But whatever. That's about a half, okay? I'm just gonna go with that. And then a teaspoon of salt. So salt is really great when you're baking. When you're baking something sweet, you put a little bit of salt in there. It really just brings out the flavor so much more of what you're baking. So make sure you do that when you're baking if you didn't know. And then I have a secret ingredient that is not in the recipe that I don't want to tell you because my sister has a dream of opening up a bakery one day, and I told her she should put my magical cookies on the list. And the reason they're my magical cookies specifically is because I don't 100% follow recipes. I have a secret ingredient. So I can't tell you the secret ingredient in case she opens her bakery. So give me a second. Secret ingredient time. Okay, secret ingredient is in there. So, okay, let's get that rest of that sifted through nicely. Well, it's a good thing I did that. There's see that? It's actually, no, you can't see that at all. There you go, see that? Just try to get that through the sieve there. So that would have just been a lump in my cookies. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's my dry ingredients. Just kind of mix it up like that. Get that baking soda and the flour and secret ingredient and salt all mixed up nicely in there. Okay, and then we're just going to slowly add the dry to the wet. So I'm just going to put a little bit like that and then start mixing. Get that mixed in. And then when that's all mixed in, I'll do another little batch of the dry stuff and do that again until we're all mixed up. And right, now this is looking really good. Our batter is nice and together here. I'll show you in a second. It's nice and thick, see that? All right, so we're almost done. Not quite. So these are actually oatmeal chocolate chip cookies that we're making. So when I say magical cookie, which I do say that all the time, that's what they're oatmeal chocolate chip. So we got to add the oats. So the oats, it's going to be 3 cups of quick cooking oats. So here we go. I got a big old thing of them here. We're going to do, there's cup number 1, and just dump it. Cup number 2. You'll notice I went a little over. Whatever. I'll do a little bit less in cup number 3. Cup number 3. A little less. Pow! There you go. There's our oats. I probably shouldn't have shown you the brand. There's our oats. Unless you want to sponsor me, in which case, use Quaker Oats for all of your oatmeal chocolate chip cookie needs. Okay. So now we're going to mix this all up together to get our oats all throughout our batter. Like this. So excited. These are going to be so yummy. I love these so much. There's a reason they're called magical cookies. It's because they're magical. I am 99% positive I have told you this before, but when I am stressed out and I have an icky tummy due to stress, like where it's not actually illness and I have an icky tummy, or I'm just feeling anxious and just not awesome, I can eat lost some oats there. I can eat a magical cookie and immediately I'll feel better. Magic. So that's why I call them magical cookies. They are technically, according to the recipe, chewy oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. But no, magical. So, yeah, okay. It's getting a little harder to stir because of the oats, right? You might imagine. But what I'm doing, of course, is just trying to get it all permeated throughout. So each bit, has oats. We don't want like some parts that are like all batter and some parts that are all oats. We want it very much evenly mixed. So there we go. Ah. Ooh, my arm is tired. This is good exercise. All right, so there we go. This is our mix here. mixed up nicely. And then the best part, the chips. So I'm using semi-sweet chocolate chips. You can use whatever, kind of chocolate chips you prefer. I like the semi-sweet. So once again, we're going to do about a cup and then a little mo. Recipe says a cup, I say a little mo. Heaping cup. Dump those in there. I'm going to need to buy more chocolate chip cookies soon. Chocolate chips soon, because I'm near the bottom of the bag there. For next time, All right, here we go. And then more stirring. Shake out our arms here. Get all those chocolate chips evenly distributed in all of this batter. Okay. Like so. And then, like I said, I'm going to have to go find my ice cream scoop because that is how we're going to get them all on the cookie sheets. Okay. Now you don't need to stir much once with the, with the chips. You really just need to kind of fold it over a few times to get those chips all throughout the batter. And then, okay. Then you're ready to go. So that looks good. That looks really good. All right. There you have it. Okay, I am going to take a minute to clean my workstation, grab my cookie sheets, grab my ice cream scoop, wherever the heck that is, and I will be with you in a little bit. Okay, here we go. I'm ready. I've cleaned up my workstation. We have our batter here. I found my ice cream scoop. So this is what I'm going to use. It's one of these that has like a little, you can scrape it off like that. This is pretty cool. So all of my cookies will be about the same size using this, which is it's my little pro tip. It's not a pro tip, it's just a tip. I am using just regular cookie sheet, but I like to use these sheets on there to keep it from sticking, so you don't have to grease it or anything. I mean, I don't think you do anyway for cookies, but actually, let me look at the recipe. I told you I do this so often, I barely look at the recipe. I just double check my amount. Yeah, ungreased baking sheets. So yeah, you wouldn't grease it anyway, but I like these sheets because then it's just so much easier to clean. Like I don't actually just kind of rinse that off and you're good to go. So that's nice. So yeah, I'll just use a little sheet here. And here's what we're going to do. So we have our little scoop, and I'm just going to go over here in my batter, and I'm going to kind of fill the scoop like that. There's a little bit of air on the side there. Just get a little extra there. Well, like that. And then we just put that down on our sheet. So it's about that big. So we're going to go through and do that 3 down, 4 across the whole sheet. And then I always like to flatten them a little bit. These cookies, I mean, they do, like, as they're baking, they do flatten a bit. But I remember the first time I made them, I didn't, like, flatten the heaps that I'm putting down right now. And the middle of the cookies were quite soft, which some people like, and that's probably fine, but I am not one of those people. I don't actually like that when the middle's all soft like that. So I actually like to, when I'm done putting it all down, and I'll show you when I do it, I go through each one and I just flatten it just a bit, kind of in the middle, and then I kind of take a spoon so that it doesn't stick. I'll show you. I don't know if I can show you very well. Wait, again, I'm using my laptop, so it's a bit awkward if I want to show you something like down. I'll see if I can manage it. But yeah, just flatten them when you're done. So anyway, I am going to keep going here with 3 down, 4 across on our baking sheet. And these baking sheets are nice. These are new ones that I recently got. I can actually fit 2 baking sheets in the oven at the same time. Before, I actually had to do 2 different bake, 2 different times. Like I had to bake the first batch and then bake the second batch because my cookie sheet was too large to actually fit 2 of them in there. But this, I can actually fit 2. So That's nice. It means all of the cookies are done twice as fast. I also leave them in the oven slightly longer than the recipe says. Again, I just really don't like that soft center, but I don't leave it in like super long because, you know, you also don't want it like burnt and really hard. These are supposed to be chewy oatmeal chocolate chip cookies, so you got to be kind of careful about that. But the recipe says they should be in the oven for about 12 minutes at 325, and then you leave them on the sheet, the baking sheet, for like 5 minutes after that. I generally do 13 and a half-ish minutes in the oven, just to make sure. And I do still leave it on the cookie sheet for the 5 minutes after as well. So some of these, I'm not getting my distance very good right now. Some of them are a bit close together, and others are, yeah, I'm not doing well. It's funny, like when you're talking like this, it's very distracting, and like, yeah, I don't do as well. But at least this time, there's nothing left out of the batter like there was with the cake. Not that it was left out, like I said, I just didn't put as much water as I should have. I'm totally making that cake again, by the way, because it's really good, but next time I will know. Make sure you put a cup and a quarter of water, and not just a cup, because it actually makes a big difference. I ended up making more of the chocolate glaze for the cake. The chocolate glaze from the recipe, I was like, that is nowhere near enough. So I ended up making like way more. I had extra chocolate chips, so it was fine. All right, so now this is the part I was telling. Let me see if I can get you to actually see this. Oh yeah, I totally can. Okay, so this is what I mean when I say flatten them. So I just take my ice cream scoop and I just boop like that, and then I go through all of them like that and just flatten them, just to make sure that they bake all the way through. You'll notice, like I said, I didn't do this too well. A couple of these are really close to the edge. Didn't quite get that well. Hopefully I'll do better on the other cookie sheet. See, so it's getting a little bit, but it's not like sticking because I'm using the spoon to pick it up like that. So you just turn it like that. See that? So now, see? They're all kind of flattened. So I'm just going to put this aside. Anyway, these are ready to go in the oven. So I'm going to do that. I really can't think of anything else to say. So I think I'm going to leave it at that for this week. I, of course, will post a picture at the end of the video with the finished cookies so you can see. And I believe I can put a link in the description to the recipe I am following, minus my secret ingredient, and also the fact that I used half a cup of butter instead of a full cup of butter. But other than that, assuming it's still, I use a PDF, but assuming that the original recipe is in the same place, I'll put a link in the description, and you too can enjoy magical cookies whenever you want. I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, talk to you next week. Bye.